Please have a seat. Let's talk for a couple minutes. We have a lot to cover just informally here. Actually, today is going to be informal, I think. But let's just chat a couple minutes about where we are, bring us all up to speed, okay? How different our life is today than it was even 2 days ago, right? 3 days ago, or a week ago. Who knows what next week is going to bring. But for this moment, this is how we're going to operate here at Smithfield. Let's talk about the worship service today itself right now, okay? First of all, you notice when you came in, today we're not touching, all right? We're not touching, we're not shaking hands, we're not hugging each other. Even if you want to, I'm not going to do it, all right? It's not because I don't love you and trust you. It's because I think all of us should consider the fact that maybe we might be the one, unknowingly, who carries this virus. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to be responsible. We want to do the correct thing. We're glad that we're here sharing in this spirit. By the way, you sounded magnificent singing this morning. It's hard to imagine. We only have like a handful of people, right? Bravo. Yeah, bravo to you. So that was magnificent. So during the worship service, in just a moment, we're going to do the passing of the peace in a much different way. When it comes time for the offering today, we're not going to pass the plates so that you're grabbing onto something that somebody else has just touched and so forth. Those offering plates are back there. So as soon as you leave today, if you brought an offering with you, I encourage you to leave that in the offering plate as you leave today. Let's see, what else are we going to do different? We're not going to have like a receiving line out there. We can stand around. We'll stand around out there, right? Or are you going to leave?
No.
Oh, you're going to stay too. Okay. Yeah. So Susan, we're all right. We'll just kind of stand back there, and if you want to say hello to us, fine. If I want to say hello to you, we'll do the same. But we're not, again, none of that. Okay? All right. This week, Monday through Friday, we're going to close our building. I think that's the prudent thing to do. Talked to John about this. He's going to say a few words in a moment. President of our congregation about this. We've talked to a couple of our staff members about it. We haven't given them the full extent of the closure, but I think we're just going to close the building in general. We have groups that use the building throughout the week. We have 12-step groups and so forth, and I know this is going to be a difficulty for everybody, but I'm sure that this is not just us. I know that we, in fact, might be the only downtown church holding a service today. I'm not sure of that, but I do know there's a couple more that no services. So I'm going to talk to Sean, our office administrator, about changing the incoming greeting on the telephone so that, along with saying, the recorded message that you get, so that we can record some updates as to when the building is going to be open and so forth. So if you have any questions about the building being open or worship service and so forth, please do that. By the way, there's no Wednesday worship this week either. Next Sunday's worship here. I'm always torn about this, but I think this is the way we're going to go about this. That people who want to come, I'll be here. All right? Now, the service might be very, very, very different from what we're used to. When I first started in the ministry, I had 3 little churches. They were on what's called a charge or a circuit. And one of those churches only had 2 people in it every Sunday. 2 little old ladies that sat like right there. And we did everything. We sang, we did all that stuff. And that's where I got my conversational kind of thing, because in the middle of a sermon, if I said something they didn't like, they'd say, time out. And I'm not sure that's right. Okay? So what I'm saying is, those of you that come on Wednesdays, you know that we have smaller groups. I'm comfortable with it. If you want to come next Sunday and to be here and to be in very, very informal worship, you're welcome. If not, we understand. Okay? Well, good with that? Everybody's good with that? Okay. Unless the mayor tells me I can't come, which might be a possibility. I don't know. Anything else that I haven't covered just yet? John, this might be a good time for you to come up and say a couple things. Let's get you a microphone.
Yes.
Because they're in the back.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, John Colburn is the president of our congregation. John?
So again, thank you for venturing out. I'm looking at the people and our spacing. We have been following the procedures where some of us are a little closer than 6 feet apart, but I'm sure you know those people well enough to know that you're okay there. As Doug said, we've made the contingencies for this week. I want to make sure that if you know somebody from our congregation that could use help in any way, contact me or contact Doug. I will be in the back. I've got some clean business cards I can hand out that will have my phone and email address on them. As far as council meeting, which is scheduled for this Tuesday, check your emails because I will, if you're a council member, I will have arrangements for Tuesday to do a telephone call-in. There's some important things that we must address, and I want to make sure we have a quorum. So that will happen. Check your emails either this afternoon or tomorrow. Pay attention to what the CDC says, and pay attention to what the Allegheny County Health Commission says, and be safe and wash your hands.
Yes. Thank you. I'm grateful that John and I are on the same page about all these things, and I want you to know that we're doing the very best with the best interest of our congregation that we possibly can. John said something extremely important, and that is that if you know of somebody, an elderly person, somebody who lives alone, somebody who was not able to get out and take part in the hoarding extravaganza, which I don't get. I just don't get. Some of you may have done it. I don't know. But we're all in this together. And it's not a me thing. See what I can just hoard up for myself, is it? It's about to make sure that everybody has what they need. So, if you know of somebody, maybe a next door neighbor, even just call your neighbor. Call somebody. Just want to say hello. It might brighten their spirit a little bit, because these are tough times. We have to rely on each other. So if you know of anybody that has a particular need, if you can't take care of it, as you said, John, please let us know, and we'll see what we can do to help out. A couple of things while I'm here. During Lent, I try to give you some suggestions as to things that we might do from a spiritual discipline point of view. And this week, if you saw it in there, the simple moment, the simple thing to simplify our lives is maybe cut back on the old screen time a little bit. And I'm not talking about hours and, whatever. Even if you just, people in public kill me on the elevators and so forth. It's all this. It's like, seriously? Do we really need that? I don't think so. If you just put it down for even 5 minutes and think about it, I think it would be worthwhile. Just be conscious of the amount of time that you spend on this. And in those couple moments that you're not on the screen, maybe shoot up a quick prayer or call that friend or somebody that I just talked about, okay? One more thing, and then I'm going to turn it over to Susan to lead us in our prayers. Lou, stand up. Today is Lou's 70th birthday. Yeah. So Lou, stand up. So we're going to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louie. Happy birthday to you. Say a couple things.
Well, I don't know whether my face reflects it, but I'm appropriately embarrassed.
And the flowers today are